Hey everybody, welcome back, Kanan here, and it's time for an update on the MetaQuest Plus. And this month, as well as the 2 games that you get normally, they've added 1 game to the games catalogue. And just for reference, I own none of these games, so it was quite a good surprise for me. And as so, I've jumped in, played a little bit of each of them, just so that I've got a bit of bearings about them all. First up, Floor Plan 2. And this game's basically a puzzler where you kind of take on the role of a new employee that basically goes around solving puzzles. It's set on different levels, there's a nice little tutorial, and the game can actually be quite funny. It's basically set in a building where you have to go up floor by floor in an elevator, solving puzzles as you go, and these can be really tricky ones. You can even pick up items and put them in like a quite funny pouch. This one's not too bad, it definitely wasn't as good as I thought it would actually be. There didn't seem to be any locomotive movement within the game, which was a bit of a shame because I like to move around in my VR. But there is the opportunity to revisit puzzles that you've already solved to find yourself with other remix challenges waiting for you there. As it's free, I'd probably say it's worth a download just to see if you like it or not. Next to the chopping board is Drop Dead Dual Strike Edition. And I've been wanting to buy this one for quite a while, but other games have come up and other games that I've had to review have been taken priority. Although I will say right away, I actually own Drop Dead The Cabin because of the MR mode and review incoming. So as you can imagine, when this game dropped for free, I thought, oh wow, this is going to be epic. But I did have a few issues that I wasn't expecting from this game. My first issue and kind of surprise was the fact that it's on rails, which is something that The Cabin isn't. The Cabin, you get to free roam in your own environment, or you get to just move around normally, locomotion. And this to me kind of felt like a bit of a throwback and also a little bit odd. But still, I persevered. The second little problem was the fact that it felt like I was playing a sequel to a game that's already out. I have tried researching this, but there's very little about it online. Although it does seem that Cabin and Drop Dead seem to be in the same universe, at least. Although I will say it does feel a little bit weird at the beginning of the game when they're explaining things and it feels like you should know certain things or certain things have happened somewhere else, but you're not aware of it. But is the game actually any good? Oh, yes. I think it is, and for free I believe it's even better. It is a bit weird going into a game in 2024 that's in VR and having on rails, but then there are still some games coming out that are on rails. There are plenty of weapons, things to shoot, other things to shoot apart from zombies. It does a good job of keeping the screens full of walkers, plenty to do, different environments, story that won't win any awards for creativity, but it's still there and it's looking like it's going to expand itself all the way through the game. And the gameplay is pretty solid in what it does. Although I will complain the fact that trying to pick up weapons, which come in a form of ranged and melee, I struggled quite often picking up objects from the floor, which was a bit of a pain in the ass for me because obviously you want to be able to pick up easily whatever is lying around in order to keep the game flowing and also upgrade what you're using. And this got so frustrating at times that I sometimes didn't even bother trying to pick up some of the weapons that are on offer. With all this in mind, I don't think I would have picked up this game had I known all this information, and I am actually quite glad that it's come out on here for free because I would have bought this game and been quite disappointed. I will say that I am going to go back to it and play a little bit more, but only because it's on here for free. Had I bought it, I definitely would have been disappointed because it wasn't the game that I was hoping it would have been, especially after playing The Cabin. And that quite nicely brings me on to the Tetris Effect. This was added to the games catalogue that you get each month. Some will leave, some will come, and basically kind of just use them as free trials, or if you can complete them within the time that they're on there, then obviously that would be the thing that you'd want to be doing. If you're a fan of Tetris, you will like this game. If you hate Tetris, this will do nothing to convince you otherwise. And again, I was mildly disappointed in this one because I was going into it expecting a VR experience of, I don't know, something VR. Instead, I got Tetris, which I love the game, but flat in VR, if you know what I mean, with VR surroundings. So everything around you kind of like moved and everything. And whilst they had some nice backgrounds, it was just basically Tetris flat. There is some nice music here, some pretty impressive backgrounds. There are effects like the block pieces do pulse and do things, but that's about it. There's about 30 different modes to this game, although most of them are more or less just go into the game, try and beat this, beat that, blah blah blah. And there's also community driven activities to sink your teeth into as well. This one, just like Drop Dead, is a disappointment in what is actually being given here. But I really love Tetris and I probably will be going back in whilst it's in the catalogue, but I will not be buying it afterwards. Let us know down in the comments whether you're actually signed up to the MetaQuest Plus and whether you think you'll be downloading these games, or if you're not and this is actually swaying you, let us know whether it's actually swaying you into getting the MetaQuest Plus. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, it really does help the channel, and also subscribe if you have not already. And with that, take care of yourselves out there, because life is better when we game together.